Moments ago, went through their usual pregame ritual, although there's nothing usual about a Game 7.
What time is it? Game time!
And welcome to Game 7, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game 7 podcast. I am your host, Dinero. It's another week in the books. I know the schedule has been a little off lately. I think we missed Sunday, but we had potted that Tuesday or Thursday or something like that. And as you can see, it's just me today. What up, Jay? Santana is busy with the fam, handling some, personal business, I guess. Keep it short and sweet today, I guess. I know we got the games coming on at 7:30. So as you can see, the title of this is Wakanda Forever. I guess it's appropriate just to start by saying rest in peace to Chadwick. I guess a few of us kind of could see it. I know you never really know who's going to beat cancer or what people are going through in their personal life. And it is wild. I think the majority of people were probably just as surprised as I was to hear the news. The bigger thing and the bigger issue for me is, how do I put it? As a Black man, we often look to our celebrities as leaders. There are examples, there are role models, and so on and so forth. So it's always bigger than just movies or sports or whatever. TJ, what up? When you turn on Facebook or the news, or even in most movies, let's just keep it real. Most movies, we're depicted as either slaves, crooks, thugs, or we're watching videos of ourselves getting killed, murdered, either at the hands of ourselves or, history, right? And then you have the long list of our martyrs that were assassinated. And you look at today, period, it's hard to just admire somebody without the ridicule or the bullshit, the blemishes or the backlash, i.e. Obama. You can't mention how proud you are of a Black president without someone mentioning he didn't do this or he didn't do that or he really was this or he was Muslim or it's something. It's always something. But rarely do we get pure role models, pure leaders, right? So we weren't potting when these things happen. So the positive side to this is I get to kind of backtrack, I guess, if you want to call it a positive, and kind of give my take on the deaths of Nipsey and Kobe. The only toys I ever bought my son, right, action figures outside of cars, planets, and things that he likes, shapes and stuff like that, were the Black Panther, right? The Black Panther. I know a lot of Black women that refuse to or are hesitant to buy white Barbies. It's because of representation. Black Panther did as good as it did because of the overwhelming emphasis on African culture, black cast, a black superhero. These are things that are often missing. You know, when you grow up and they tell you you either got a ball or sell drugs or something like that to make it out. Very rarely do they tell you could be president. Very rarely do you have a Halloween costume or things of that nature that have you look forward to representing your culture. I think growing up, the most we ever had, no bullshit. I think the most we ever had in terms of African pride or whatever you want to call it, African connection, was calling each other African booty scratchers. It was a diss. It's funny, but spirit chuckers, bone, it's a lot of jokes and I'm gonna say association to negativity that goes with for most, not all, but for most, with African descent or go back to Africa kind of condensations or condemnations or whatever condemnations. Chadwick, I think, looking back, we kind of took it for granted. Like I will wake up or I will watch the movies and be like, oh, he's a dope artist. He's a dope actor. You love the work, you do all those things, and you admire a guy, kind of like Denzel and so on and so forth. But you never really give them the flowers while they're here. And that was one of them situations. Like, damn, he was taken too soon, too fast, and you want more. And there's a little bit of regret. I know there was some people out there making jokes about his weight. Sadly, that's what the black community does. Let's just call it what it is. I think black Twitter or black coping mechanisms has always been jokes. We joke a lot. It's not a negative. It's just sometimes it's just inappropriate. In the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme of things, it's like, where's the compassion, or who are we? Who are we? Who are you to laugh at somebody else's pain or joke on their appearance or whatever? I thought it was a movie role that he was going for. I never once thought cancer, didn't think crack like some people, or drugs. I thought maybe it was a movie role. So it wasn't funny to me back then. It's still not funny to me now, but it's more hurtful today to know that that brother is no longer with us. In the same instance with a guy like Nipsey, you look back at the work that was done in building up the community, and even in the music, the message that's preached, the life that you live outside of what you're just representing or talking, it's fucked up. Because I can look around, not saying I wish death on anybody, but I can look around at people that just aren't utilizing their life, their power, their money, time wisely. It's not beneficial to anybody but themselves. So when you lose those kind of people, it's tough. It's tough. Representation out here is tough. I think I'm one of them people who, any chance I get, I attempt to breathe life into certain situations or certain people or everybody, whatever, some sort of positivity. It's not gonna always be that way. I know I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna get my jokes off and I'm gonna have my fun and I'm gonna have my selfish moments. But a lot of that selfish moments and the things that people see when you pat yourself on the back comes from a long line of being down. The braggadocious shit and the boisterous shit, the prideful shit, a lot of that comes from not having. These are the small victories or the small wins that you have, knowing that you've overcome certain things, or knowing the negativity that you fought against, the holes that you climbed up out of, all of those things, the people that doubted you. There's a lot of things that go into the day-to-day life and we touch upon them as far as black people, black men, or whatever. And I actually created this podcast, Game 7, which I've explained 1,000,001 times, was created and meant to be a lifestyle. It was created to, represent treating every day like a Game 7. It wasn't a sports podcast. It's not a gaming podcast. It wasn't meant to be political. This platform was meant to empower. It was meant to, Game 7 it was a representation of what I believe people need to hear every day. To get up there and get out here and, give it all you got that day. Not tomorrow. It's not promised. But right now, with your team, with the resources you got, with the scars, with the injuries, you're supposed to get up every day and fight through. Like, you don't know, it's win or go home. That's what this platform was created for. Sadly, we get up here and I would be less of a man to ignore real world problems, real world issues. I say it all the time. Like, I don't think any of us involved in this platform are better than anybody, or the end all be all. Our word is this. I get up here and give my opinion, my point of view, and I invite everybody to get up here and do the same. That open door policy, so to speak, because I've always believed in representation. I've always believed in giving people, especially my people, a voice and something other than I slap bitches, I get money, more than that. I got cousins, I got family members and things of that nature that have little to no role models out there. I'm not saying I'm their role model, but I am an alternative to what they're used to. I know that for a fact. I know people above me, or what I mean by above me, more money, older than me, different positions that may need a different perspective sometimes. I look for different perspectives sometimes. We need them. And I feel like, losing these kind of people, the Kobe's, the Chadwicks and the Nipseys and stuff, really fuck with our culture, fuck with our mentality. It fucks with the balance of things. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. It's not a lot of us. I know they say the good die young and shit like that, but it's not a lot of us. It sucks. I know the kids are crying. I know adults are crying. I know a lot of people were hurt and everything like that. And it's like, you can't go back and get it back. Nothing's truly the same after you lose somebody of that significance, especially when we watch guys like Bill Cosby fall from grace. I mean, let's be honest, right? Bill Cosby. It's Bill Cosby. Most of the people on my Facebook of my age or older grew up on the Cosby Show and everything Cosby, and anything branched off from there from a different world and everything else. You never saw that coming. You could have never saw that coming. I did have certain issues with Bill Cosby while he was alive that extended from the lack of unity between other black actors and comedians and stuff like that, but never to the extent of where he is now. I could say the same about Kobe. When Kobe was alive, I didn't necessarily agree with certain stances that he took, but he was a hero, a role model, superhero nonetheless to a lot of the kids and the guys of my peers and stuff that grew up, all the current NBA players and everything else. Without them, you don't have that ambition to do the things that they do. The same as Jordan and everything else. You don't have those ambitions. You don't have that desire to go out there and win at that level. Like I genuinely always said basketball and sports, period, just like rap, but mostly sports to me seems like the real life Avengers to most of us. Reason being, we wake up every day work, school, the bus, the car, at home, and we debate these things and we pick teams and we wear the logos and we do these things at such a high level and so intensely and dive into it to the point where we know their stats, we know their families, we know all these things about them. We watch their moves, we watch them overcome adversity, we watch them fight through injuries, come back. We see that nemesis. Oh, he hates that guy. Oh, he's gonna take it to that guy. That guy hates him. And year after year, it's like we watch the real life Avengers in sports and we don't even realize it. We don't realize it. So when you see, like, I know when Kobe died, a lot of people said, "Oh man, we thought he was invincible," and so on and so forth. We really did. We really did. We really did. We really expected that man to rise back up. We never fathomed moving without him. To this day, a lot of the guys that I know haven't accepted the fact that he's gone. It's still unreal to us. And it's like you watch this and you turn on these news and you just always hope for a contrast to just police shootings or drug dealer shit or rapper killed, a rapper in jail. That narrative, you really try to stray from all of those things. I've literally lived my life attempting to be the best version of a man that I know based off of what I was given. Not saying I got it all right. Haven't. Be the first one to tell you that I haven't got it all right. But anybody that knows me knows that the representation, what you strive to do, and the things that you do, and the people that you try to bring up around you, um, ain't no hater in me. There ain't no negativity in me. There ain't no, I don't do all that. I don't do all of that mad that you got on shit. And I'm very much aware of the current climate. We're losing leaders. What's happening, boy? Ryan, what up? Sergeant Ryan Denzelli. But real shit, like I said, I'm not going to harbor on too much of you know, how this shit is, or y'all know what it is. And anybody want to chime in, feel free to. But representation is so important. It's like I said, man, the movies that the man did and the life that he lived is absolutely going to continue to live on, and that's dope. It's super dope. Sucks. It always sucks when you lose these people so early on or unexpectedly, but I mean, I guess the upside of it is people love you more in death. People praise you more when you're absent. People pay attention more and they lift you up, sadly, way further than when you're alive. So I mean, I guess what I'm saying is the old saying, uh, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's where it's at. You're right, Jay. Absolutely. Our history. People always ask me about like religion, talk about religion and what you believe and stuff. Um, I believe in a God. I believe Egypt was the place. I believe that the pyramids and everything else were built by my people. It was to my understanding that we were made in his image, God's image. We were made God-like. We were living incredible years. We were doing incredible things. And we started to build to the heavens. And they say God looked down and saw that there was nothing we couldn't do if we worked together. It shook up the world. You take that how you want to, but given the day, given the things that we know about them not understanding hieroglyphics, or um, about people still not knowing the secrets of pyramids and the pyramids and everything else still standing, and the gods of Egypt and everything else, I truly believe all of that history is there. I believe the language barriers. I believe in the reason why there's so much hate and negativity in the world is because God shook up the world. You can't explain to me why we can have the technology that we have and the advances that we have, from cloning to video chatting to 3D printing, everything else, and communication separately. And by separate, I mean Russians ain't working with us. China's not working with us. We're not working with them. So much hate in the world, you often wonder what the fuck it would be like if we worked together. And then the bigger question comes in, which is the people that are waiting on God to return or God to save them and everything else and praying. And it's like, maybe your God ain't what you think it is. Free will and all that thing. Maybe your God is not what you believe it is. Maybe. You can disagree, but I've often said that I'm human. I'm human. I'm a 36-year-old man. There is nobody that I would watch willingly suffer and not help if I could. I just wouldn't do it. I'm no God. I don't have any powers. You're not my children. None of that. I don't believe that I could sit back and watch somebody suffer, or a group of people, or more people, or the world do the things that go through the things that they go through and just stand idly by. I realize that when good things happen, people equate that to God and miracles. And then when bad things happen, they equate that or give that credit to the devil. And that's fine if that's what you want to believe, good and evil and everything else, religion and all that. That's cool. That's fine. I'm not here to talk nobody out of what they believes or transform them or nothing like that. I just know that there are people that would literally sacrifice it all for people that they don't know. They're not gods. They're not none of that. Where's the God? How long and how long do you move and maneuver at this pace and watch the shit that we have witnessed and go through and just continue to just pray? And that's a real question. I'm not here to rattle nobody that's religious. I've had this conversation before with people that I love and know and get close to. And this is just my perspective, because you can't tell me that the negativity that is going on in the world is okay, and yet we lose the type of people we lose that are doing the work. You can't tell me that. I know I'm off on a tangent and everything else. This is real somber and everything, but hear me out. We're really living in times where you turn on the news and the government's evicting people for some shit that they don't have no control over, or people have to die because of lack of medical coverage or whatever, or get treated less than because of it. Money and all the rest of that stuff. Like, that's cool. That's cool. Whatever. I feel how I feel. I don't think your God is who you think he is. It's just my opinion. Again, off on a tangent. They all kind of tie in with each other, because at the end of the day, it costs you nothing to be a good person. It costs you nothing to be nice to people. It costs you nothing to help somebody. Nothing. Nothing. It's just where we at. The negativity. I know people that hate me. I have no animosity to. I know people that help me that I've literally helped them through the worst times in their life and still would. Spiteful, jealousy, I don't know what it is, but adults that feel some kind of way about me because of shit that they did, or shit that I wouldn't do on account of the facts, the truth. You can't use me. I'm the bad guy. It's the world we live in. This is the world we live in. You find me somebody that openly tells you that I ain't shit or I ain't help him or I've hated on him, I'll give you $500. Anybody. You can't. I've never been that person. As far as and I'm kind of transitioning because the other half of this was about Meg and Tory, as you can read. But I've never stood by watching some guy beat on or abuse a woman, even if I ain't know him. Even if I ain't know him. I've never watched people bully dudes that I didn't know or just cuz. Now, don't get it twisted. Like in my younger days, I might have fucked up and done some shit in high school and shit like that that was on some um, similar shit. I can justify them by saying I got my reasons, but the fact of the matter is I knew those things in my life came when I was fed up, when I was tired, when I got tired of being a good guy, when I got tired of being nice to people, when I reached the end and I realized that nice guy shit didn't work. I fucked up several times. I could say the same thing about hustling. There's times in my life where I hustled and done things that I'm not proud of, that I don't condone. But when your hand is forced, sometimes you do shit. You do stupid shit. You don't really give a fuck. It is what it is. And I'm not necessarily talking about those things or those instances in your life where you do what the fuck you supposed or you gotta do. I've said the same thing about rioting and everything like that. Like, you know, you get to a point when you stop asking and you start raging out because shit, what else is left? We've all been there in one way, shape, or form in some capacity. We've all been to that point where enough is enough. I get it. But I've just never been that person that sit back and let you just wild the fuck out and be a shitty person while I'm around. I could probably tag about 15 people that didn't know me from shit the day they met me that I probably intervened. I could tell you all kind of stories of money given, gifts given, fights broken up, women who had abusive boyfriends and shit that are still on my friends list that I stepped in. I could do this shit all day. I've never done it. They'll probably tell you when I'm dead and gone, or you'll hear the stories. Cool. But I say all that to say, no, I don't think you get tired of being a good guy, but let's call it what it is. Like, we don't live in a society where you're rewarded for those things. Not that I'm saying you should be rewarded, but understand what I'm saying. The consensus is the people that fuck over people tend to climb to the top fastest or go further. The good guys or the people that are doing it right, you take the longer path. And I believe a lot of that is, let's say my objective is to get to point A to point B, and along the way I'm stopping to help people. I'm definitely not going to reach the finish line before that guy that don't give a fuck about him and is willing to just walk past him. I get that. I understand all of that. What I'm talking about more so is what I said before. Yeah, kindness is seen as weakness, bro. It really is. But it's not only just seen as weakness, it is abused. And that's the part of it I think is irritating the shit out of me. The kindness shit, you can be nice, and people learn that you're nice. And once they realize that you're not the type to give them that energy back, and you're not going to fight them, you're not going to argue, you're not going to be toxic with them, they start to pick and choose when they want to be nice back and play with you in that manner. When you know I'm not going to hit you, when you know I'm not going to argue with you, when you know I'm not going to be petty with you, it's easy for you to go ahead and do what you do at my expense. Whether that be my feelings, my money, my time, whatever. The shit people do, even in relationships, not just family or whatever, but the shit people do, they tend to, that it's abusive. It's extreme. It's too much on all accounts. I'm not just talking about personally, but I mean that shit in like movie, the media, and everything else. I'm gonna give you an example outside of personal. In the military, and a lot of the people on my list can contest to this because they were military. In the military, what I learned was if you do your job at a high level, if you're good at doing your job, that's great, that's cool. What ends up happening is you're gonna get extra duty. What I mean by extra duty is I noticed a lot of first sergeants and shit like that in the military. They would delegate extra duties to the sergeant major detail and shit like that to the good guy, the soft spoken guy, the nerd guy, the easy pushover guy, because they knew he would get it done, as opposed to the shitty soldier who goofs off and does them things, takes his time and so on and so forth. The reason why is because they would send their soldier that was the hardworking one so that they would represent it very well on this extra duty. What that did was that gave the soldier that was doing right more work to do, while the soldier that was doing it the wrong way got to go home, spend his weekend doing what the fuck he wanted to do. No cares in the world. Now understand, I get it, but you would think, and I've seen this, I've seen it reverse too. You would think you would punish the soldier that is shitty and don't want to work by making them work extra. You would think that. But a lot of the times that's not how it went. They chose to go with the soldier they knew wouldn't talk back, wouldn't be late, wouldn't fuck around, and would just do what they say. So you learn quickly, like, oh, I gotta be this. Now, mind you, that didn't stop rank. I've literally seen these type of soldiers never move up in rank. Yeah, you're a good soldier. Yeah, you're soft, but you ain't cool with us. This soldier over here drinking beer with us. This soldier over here kicking it with us. He's cool. He'll cheat his way through. He got the answers to this. He got the answer to this. He's moving up. And when he get up, he's sitting up there in his new rank, and he's drinking his coffee, and he's delegating to the good soldiers. I see it all the time. It's just an example of abusing the goodness. All right, so you knew the dude wasn't gonna say nothing back to you. It's fucked up. At least promote him. At least. That's all I'm saying. I feel the same way about the world, right? You see people that are doing positive things, good things, or whatever. You don't gotta agree with it. You don't have to, like I've said this a million and one times. The things that I put out there, this podcast, the music, the streams, the game, it's all free to sign up. It takes a second to subscribe. Nobody's asking you to send me $1 million. Nobody's asking you to reach in your pocket, your wallets, or give it time. You don't have to sit here and listen to it. Subscribe. That helps me. It's easy. Share it the way you would share it. Tekashi 6ix9ine's bullshit or all that Trump shit that you do to promote Trump. That's what I mean. Yeah, that negativity needs to be seen. Yeah, all the bad shit in the world needs to be seen and heard and done something about. Give that same energy to the good shit. Give it to it. I got some, I don't know, I ain't gonna call it backlash, but people didn't like or don't like my stance on like Meg Thee Stallion in the Tory Lanez situation. Now understand what I'm saying. I don't condone any abuse of any kind, especially men towards women at all. My issue with that situation and any other situation similar is I've seen too many women personally that are in situations where abuse is happening or has happened. I'm gonna give you a personal example. This person had a situation go on and didn't tell me anything about it. All right. I found out through another person that the situation happened. I got a phone call that said, hey, did you hear? So on and so forth. Oh, huh? All right. So I pull up. Ding dong. Who is it? It's me. Silence for about 3 to 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes pass. Doors buzzed. I'm upstairs. I already knew what happened. Why'd you let 3 to 5 minutes pass? You let him out. You gave him a pass. You hid him. You protected him. So now I'm involved, and you know how I'm built. You know what I'm on. If I decide to do the honorable thing in this situation and give dude back what he gave you, I'm wrong. What are you saying when you protect them? What are you saying when you aren't pressing charges? What are you saying when you're letting this man get away with it? What are you saying when you take him back? Because I'm willing to go to jail, damn near die, kill this man, fuck this man up, get involved, tell this motherfucker never bring his ass around here again, and you protecting him, and you're accepting it. That's how I feel about the Meg Thee Stallion situation. The man was locked up. Police found the gun. Police had him arrested on the charges. Police had the evidence there. They had you, your friends, and everything else. You guys had to concoct or come up with a story that night that matched in order for him to get off. That ain't snitching. That ain't none of that's clear cut. That's clear cut situation. What did you say to let him go home? What did you say that day, and what was your involvement in that situation that allowed that man to get out of jail? You have to tell me, because now you're screaming protect me, and you feel unprotected, and black men don't protect you, and so on and so forth. But you let that man go. You let that man walk that night. He was already in jail. He was locked up with charges. And if I'm not mistaken, they're still trying to pursue charges on him. My point in all that is, why bring up shit now? Why do you want sympathy, and why do you want protection now? I'm gonna tell you what happens, right? So now a guy like me sees that this is what happened with you, and I intervene. I'm either gonna take Tory's life and fuck up mine by going to jail, which ruins 2 lives, or I'm gonna get involved anyway, and I'm gonna end up in jail while you protected him in the first place for whatever reason. Either way, my life is gone, and that nigga's free, or whatever the case is. None of them situations come out good. But you see it all the time. You see abusive relationships. You see fucked up situations. I just seen Joe Budden and Tahiri have a story going on. What she's saying, Joe Budden was breaking her ribs and beating her ass and so on and so forth. I've also seen her on numerous occasions being violent, throwing shit, punching, whatever. She had a recent clip throwing an apple at somebody or whatever, right? In a relationship. But my problem is, you're saying all of this after you've been seen several times, several years have passed, being buddy with him, and even trying to convince another woman to forgive him and be with him. If nobody else sees a problem with this, I'll concede. My point is, you can't, I'm sorry. You cannot scream you're unprotected if you won't protect yourself, or at least give us the opportunity to do it the right way. You can't. You playing games, but you're not just playing games with your own life. You playing games with ours. You playing games with the public. You playing games with our image, and we, the good guys, get crucified or put into a column with everybody else, in a category with everybody else, because you won't maneuver and move the right way for whatever reason. I don't know if it's protecting her image. What I do know is now she's freestyling about being shot and walking away from it, and so on and so forth and everything else. I do know that she's on social media right now with a bodyguard in the background with a gun posted, so on and so forth, with that same energy. I do know these things. And what I'm saying is, before that, if it was thug bitch this and street and all this, and you protecting your image and the street code and all that, cool, keep it that way. Keep it that way. But you are not in the same category as a Maya Angelou or any of those real women, as I call them, real women that require or should expect protection. If you're living and moving on the street code, which meant we gonna get them that way, keep that up. Keep that energy. Keep it that way. Don't get on social media crying because people got jokes for you and all. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you street over here and now you crying over here and all. No, don't do that. It's not the same. I don't care what nobody say. That's not the same. That victim shit is not the same. I'm gonna give you another example that ain't of involving women. Drake says all kind of shit in his raps. Does anybody believe that Drake is a thug? Does anybody believe for a second that Drake is a tough guy or even wants to be a tough guy? But if Drake was to sit here and say, as he said before, and I quote, pull up at the light, made a right, hit the lights, it's on sight. Everybody here knows what that means. These are his real lyrics. It's on sight. These are his lyrics. And I can name a bunch of other lyrics, like one that he said, people wonder if Drake would I, or whatever the case, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? My point is, if Drake gets into it today and is shot, is anybody gonna look at Drake like, oh, you a thug, do something, or you should have done something? No. I'm not looking at Drake. I'm not looking at Drake to be a tough guy. I'm sorry. That's entertainment, so on and so forth. I get it. My point is, if Drake is pointing out his shooter, it's going to be all kind of mixed feelings. Oh, but you said this, or oh, you got guys that do that, or no, we don't do that in street code. But you got to keep that same energy with Meg, that whole civilian shit, and she didn't do this, and so on and so forth, or present charge. Listen, all I'm saying is we got to be consistent with certain shit that we do. We have to. And it is a tricky situation, cuz it is a tricky situation. I'm telling you, personally, I'm speaking from personal experience. I could literally tag a dozen females that will literally come up here and tell you about situations where I didn't even know them. High school and so on and so forth. You're not doing that in front of me, dog. Pouring water in purses, punching them, pushing them. You're not doing that work. You're not getting that off around me. You're not. I don't care what our relationship is. Whatever. I'm gonna check a nigga if he ever puts his hands on a woman. Matter of fact, my downfall is the second I don't have that mechanism. I don't have it. I could tag family. I'm sure family will see this and tell you situations that I've been in. I am a squeeze first type of nigga. You're not getting that off around me. I do not condone that behavior. Never have. Sucker shit. You put your hands on a woman, you are a sucker. It ain't going on. Beat my ass. I'm 6'4", 245 pounds. Let's go. That's always been my energy. And like you said, now if I intervene, and I've seen this, I intervene, I'm gonna have my guy come on here and probably listen. We're gonna have a day. We're gonna have a day, and I hope people are watching this because they're gonna attest to it. I might tag, I might hit them and tell you, if I hit your man, if I hit the nigga hitting you and you take him back, I've had this happen, right? At a barbecue. Guy was putting his hands on a woman. I intervene. I'm with my guys. Blatant disregard for my life. I did not know who his guys was around there. I did not know who he came with. I seen him abusing a woman. I stepped in. Fam, you're not doing that. Before I knew it, like I didn't hit this dude a couple times. Next thing you know, his guys is around me. I never thought of it. I didn't blink. I did not know who he was with. I didn't know the situation. His guys is around me. Lucky for me, they walked around to him and said, fam, no, we cool. We don't want no more. I stop. I come to. My mind goes, fuck did you just do? These niggas could have fucked me up. These niggas could have had guns, knives, whatever. My life is over. I don't know this woman. But you're not doing that around me. I don't know this woman. Two things happened after that. The people at the barbecue called me a thug. They called me all kind of names. They told me to get the fuck up out of there. Called the police on me. And that woman ran to her man crying, you okay? You okay? Stay with him, probably. But she ran to him. She got him. She, you know what I mean? She went with dude or whatever the situation was, which in the bigger picture made everything that I did worth nothing. This man was fucking you up or abusive to you. And your reaction was obviously to be with him or go with him or whatever, right? I'm the thug at the party. I had to leave. But as you said, the tricky situation is I lose my life that day. I'm the thug at the party. I lose my life that day. She still would have took him back. Exactly. But the catch to that, Jay, and thank you, Charlie. I know you know me, and you could tell me you could tell people all kind of stories. But Jay, that's the problem, right? So now you look at today's society when shit's going on, people pull out their cameras. And the first thing people say is, why'd you pull out your camera? And who's not helping? Why are you not helping? And get in. That's facts, though. George Floyd situation, nobody intervened. Nobody got that man's knee off his neck, none of it. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. And admittedly, it's to my detriment. Like, at the end of the day, that may be the death of me one day. It may be, because I don't really have that time to think or that mechanism that stops and says, but what if I act or react, if you will? I don't have that. I could tell stories all day about different situations where those things happen. We were in public, Jay, and again, domestic situations are completely different. But if domestic situations are different, Tory and Meg were supposedly dating. They were supposedly dating, and the shit stems from some shit that happened in that party or jealousy or some shit dealing with Kylie Jenner or something. Again, we don't know the facts, but they clearly fucked with each other tough enough for her to let that man off the hook, so on and so forth, which still makes my point valid. You want people to protect you from what? How are black women unprotected if you won't protect yourself? The man was in jail. There is a mugshot. There are charges. In order for him to have gotten out that day or any time that week, charges had to be dropped, or they couldn't prove what was going on, or it had to be, you had to tell motherfuckers, because common sense is common sense. You had to have gone in there with your homegirl with the same story that said it was an accident or otherwise. You had to, because he's dead to rights guilty. Somebody tell me where I'm lying. Somebody tell me where I'm wrong. Exactly. Go to jail. He goes to jail. We're not in this situation where you're not screaming, you feel unprotected and people making jokes. You get all the sympathy in the world, and he ain't shit. He's canceled. He's out of there. You do the right thing that day, and you tell people the truth. You tell the police the truth. We don't have a situation where the goons or the streets or black men or whoever, your brothers, your cousins or whatever, have to go out there and kill this man for you, for shooting you. Let the jailhouse dudes do that in jail. He's a little nigga. Let the jail do that. Let the criminals be criminals. Let the system do what it's supposed to do. You as a woman, you as a business or whatever else, let that other shit go. If you're a civilian, if you're not street or whatever, what did you say to get him out of there? If he goes to jail tomorrow, he deserves it. You go and press charges or whatever the case is, nobody feels sorry for Tory Lanez. Not a one person in this world is going to sit back and defend Tory Lanez. Fuck Tory Lanez, go straight to jail. Rot in jail, nigga. You shot a woman in the fucking feet. for whatever reason, walking away from you, some domestic dispute, short man syndrome, whatever the reason you shot a woman, that's wild. Go to jail. Fuck your music, fuck your career, fuck everything else. Go to jail. We don't care about potential. But that's a clear cut decision around the board. Nobody's defending that. There's not a one person in the world that would sit back and defend him after that. Even if they were to say she was beating his ass in that car and he felt the need to defend himself or whatever, you're still wild, bruh. You're a grown man and you had to pull a gun out on a woman. That's where we at. Go to jail. Go to jail. Go to jail. Meanwhile, like I said, as far as that situation is concerned, I stand firm on what I'm saying. It ain't even about him. It's about how the situation is handled. We could talk the same shit about Save the Children and you know, the black community with these nasty ass uncles and dudes that's around that be touching these little girls, and the family get together and talk about how he a pervert and so on and so forth. The shit goes on. Do something. Do something. Where's the lie? Let's not bullshit each other here. Ain't nobody fucking these dudes up. Ain't nobody, like, it's to the point where you tolerate it. You can't do that around me. You can't do that around me. You can't be that person in my vicinity, which is why I usually separate myself from situations. I stay out of shit where people openly condone behavior of people that they know don't deserve forgiveness. I'm not doing that because I ain't that person. No, I'm not the end all be all. No, I'm not judge, jury, bailiff, and none of that. But wrong is wrong. And if you fucking around and you doing the fuck around, I can't be around you. I'm gonna go to jail. You can't condone it. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not acceptable. Certain shit just goes on and we sweep the shit under the rug like it's nothing until some hashtag comes out and then everybody's so righteous. Nah, my folder's clean. I've been me my whole life. Even with people talking shit and lying or the dirt that's thrown on or whatever, people come out the woodworks and say, my folder's clean. Your opinion of me or lies or gossip because you fucked up or some shit that I wouldn't do for you, you can't use that against me. You can't. Who I am is cemented. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like I said, I make mistakes like everybody else. Everybody else. I'm human. But certain shit I can't tolerate. But you see it all the time. Like I said, now, if I'm that guy that's gonna risk my life and go fuck up your man, your husband, or whatever the case is, your boyfriend, your uncle, your dude down the block, or the nigga you don't know, or the nigga at the party or whatever, because he fucking with you, you got to be willing to do the same shit. That means press the charges and keep it moving. You have to. Or don't cry you unprotected, because the next time you really are going to be unprotected. Nobody want to do shit for you if you keep taking a nigga back. Nobody. What the fuck do we look like intervening when we know you just gonna let the nigga right back in? It's too many women out there. Matter of fact, when Chris Brown did what he did, everybody knows that there was a lot of women out there that said Chris Brown could beat my ass any day. Shit, he'd beat my ass. It's women out there that say, oh shit, Kobe could, you know what I mean, or this person could cheat on me, or oh, it's the ring, or Will Smith could get away with. And the rebuttal is usually to, you know, whenever something happened, you don't got Kobe Bryant money, or you don't got this kind of money, or you don't got, you know, Chris Brown money, or all right, so you tolerating it. You're not unprotected. You're choosing. You have chosen. Huge difference. Huge difference. When you tolerate something, you accept something, you cannot go off and then scream, man ain't shit, or this ain't that, or you can't do it. There's too many women out there that love niggas that ain't shit, or situations that ain't shit, or put themselves in the situations where it just is not in their favor and cry wolf. You can't do it. and I said it a million times, I would love to have a woman on here to have this conversation or any conversation that we have. I would love to have women on here that can offer contrast or have, conversations, put me in my place or give me a different perspective or whatever. But I think it's hard pressed that you find somebody that's going to tell me that accepting the shit that somebody gives you or the energy somebody gives you is somehow other people's responsibility to pull you away from. Nah, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're a grown ass woman, grown ass man, or whatever. You get up every day, make decisions, do what's best for you, do what's best for your family, your situation, whatever. When you do it, keep that energy. Definitely don't go flashing your bodyguard with the guns now because they weren't there that day. They ain't done shit after. And it seems to me as though you're flaunting and moving off of that energy at this point. Seems like that, you know what I mean? That whole, like people used to say about 50 Cent, right? And I love 50 Cent, the businessman. But the famous line with 50 Cent was, y'all respect the nigga. Now, he didn't say this. Somebody said it to him. Y'all respect the nigga that got shot. I respect the shooter, right? Bad analogy, but you get the point. A nigga in that situation where they are glorifying being shot 9 times and they're using it for the fame and the promo and everything else and talking to tough guy shit or whatever. And that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Fact of the matter is, you weren't the one doing the shooting. So now you're glorifying it and the lifestyle and everything else. And it's good to use it to your advantage or whatever. And that's great. But let's call it what it is. It's a little ass backwards when you're talking tough talk and using it. I can't be mad at either or because you got rich off of it and you used it. So take it. Cool. Happy for you. I don't want nobody to die. So happy you survive. But if that's the energy you putting out there, if the tough guy shit is what you put out there, if that lifestyle is what you put out there, then how could I ever have sympathy or empathize with you going forward when everything else is tough talk? Tough talk. That's also why I always said Nipsey's death was a little more hurtful to me than Tupac's, because at that point with Tupac, you kind of seen the beef, you seen the shit, you saw the negativity. He kind of invited it in. Bomb first and everything else in his energy. And y'all know me, I always say I believe in the power of the tongue. If I sit back and I tell you I'm gonna get something done or I'm a positive, I'm breathing that into existence. I'm talking that into existence. The power of the fucking tongue. I am going to do this. I want to do this. I'm great. I'm this. I'm successful. I'm gonna talk that into existence. I believe that a lot of these rappers and these people out there that talk that shit, which was kind of my point. When you talk that energy and you talking, I'm ready for this, and I pull this out, and you run up, get done up, and I'm gonna shoot you in your face and all that, blah, blah, blah. And then it happens. Thought you was ready for it. You said, run up, get done up. I got the thing on me. I'm this, I'm that, I'm untouchable. I'm a bomb first. No, you said that, as opposed to the guy that's, preaching and talking about empowerment and business investments and so on and so forth, giving the kids something different. Tupac's death to me was not nearly as devastating. I mean, don't get it twisted. I know history. I do know history, and I know what I'm saying to you may not register to everybody, but Nipsey's death to me was just a little more hurtful and unexpected than Pac's. For that reason, like, you kind of seen it coming. Maybe not maybe that may be an unpopular opinion, but kind of saw it coming. Kind of figured thug life, when the nigga said thug life would be the death of me, kind of figured, kind of seen it coming. Anyway, that's really all I don't really have too much more on that situation, man. Like I said, at the this was I ain't gonna say a slow week, but I just don't feel like continuing to cover the same type of news and events that's going on. It's so redundant and so repetitive. Um, you just wake up wanting change or something better, some fun, some energy. I know we watching these NBA games and everything else like that, and these drafts and all this stuff with the NFL and sports and entertainment and all that, But all that shit, it's like you turn on Amazon movies and all this shit is a lineup of black movies and um, NBA is Black Lives Matter and everything else. And it's like it's everywhere right now. It's big business. But I'm looking for that change. I am. I'm probably one of the only people, or the few, should I say, that's just waiting, like, yo, where's the actual change gonna be? Just me? No, ain't too many people in here no more. I bore y'all today. Trying to have fun, man. Eventually, like I said, man, this shit get a little bit it get a little redundant. Watching I don't know what kind of men you want to talk fucking coon ass black dudes get on here and shucking and jiving on Facebook and everything else, catering to that bullshit ass narrative for white people, um, raising their kids to believe that bullshit that they believe, talking down on guys like LeBron and so on and so forth. You watch that shit so much, and the racism, it's all little dick energy, man. I'm really starting to believe that racism is truly about um, the black male anatomy. Pause. I'm really starting to believe that they hate us based on our physique and what we bring, because you fuckers had a super head start financially. You are not targeted when you leave the house. You have stupid ass stereotypes like white men have good credit and live a certain life, and you got all that shit going for you, and you still wake up mad. I don't understand it. Like, you gotta tell me at what point, if you feel that you're a superior race and you got an uncle that owns a company, or just racial shit, all the representation in movies and everything else, you can get away with murder. At this point, if you're racist, I have to believe you are just physically jealous of black men. That's the only thing that I can think of. You a different type of person to wake up every day and hate somebody that you feel isn't on your level, isn't worthy of the stage with you, isn't. Listen, I understand this man talk. But bruh, come on. Seriously. Taught or not taught. What part of your understand what I'm saying? And this is just me, if I'm rich, I got all the cars I want. And this is just an example, by the way. If I'm rich, I'm tall, I'm blessed, I got the woman I want, my kids are doing good, all these things are going good for me. I wake up and I hate on you and you're not, or you're believed to not be on my level. I have to identify why I hate you. And chances are it's going to be it's always something that you have that I don't. Now, what is it? What about me do you hate so much? What? What would get you up every day and get online and be mad and defensive if all you see down your timeline is my people getting killed and us being frustrated and pissed off and not giving equal rights? Something's wrong with you. I can check the boxes. At this point, I can't come up with no sensible reason why anybody that feels they're superior, or the better race or the better specimen and all that, can hate on an entire race of people to this extent. You watch the basketball games. You go betting on the basketball games and the football games. You root for the teams. You root for the players up until their real life come into play. What the fuck is it? It's not, listen, it's got to be little dick energy, bro. I think racism has to be, you got to be waking up every morning pissed off that you were born that way. You have to. I'm really starting to believe that shit. I know we had the jokes out there and the statues, and this is where racism began and all this. I know that's an ongoing thing. It's going to be forever. But I'm really starting to believe it. I'm really starting to believe, especially when I start to look at the comments and the people that are commenting under these posts and on their pages and stuff, and are openly racist or doing that. The old bigots, the new age motherfuckers, and so on and so forth. There's a common thing with a lot of them. And again, don't know them. I could name a handful of dudes that I served in the military with or whatever that surprised the shit out of me. That's like, oh, you a racist. You like that? Because you wouldn't like that when I was around. You would never say that to my face. I have to believe it's little dick energy. Nobody with big dick energy worries about another motherfucker. Because we move under the impression of I can get your girl. I'm all right. I wake up blessed. I'm a dude. Like, there's nothing about big dick energy that feels the need to hate on another man, because we really move like we got it like that. Has to be. I've seen rich dudes that with all the cars and the money and shit like that still be jealous of broke dudes. I've seen it. Short dudes mad at the world. Only time, my point is, only time I've ever seen a dude that's a hater, he missing something. He feels some kind of way. He got a complex. Some woman or some women throughout his life or something he's compensating or he's trying to. That's the only thing that I can think of. You can't tell me that you woke up this morning with a decent credit score in your nice house with your nice car, whatever, and you hate black people. Fam, we are getting it from the mud. Ain't shit energy. I mean, ain't shit easy. Ain't shit easy. It's got to be. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, Mike, Santana, threatened. If you have the money and all the rest of that stuff and you feel threatened by, what else could it be? Why are you so pressed? You should be with your fucking kids roasting marshmallows or some shit. Why are you mad at me? All I said was Black Lives Matter. Why are you so mad? Somebody gonna tell me. But what's up, Santana? What's up, Brooke? Jay, Keish, everybody in here. Told you I was gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm about to watch this NBA game. Lakers was trash last game. And hopefully they don't bring that bullshit to this next one. Anthony Davis need to take his tall ass down low and do some damage, do some fucking dunking on some people. You way too fucking tall to be sitting there just settling for 3-pointers. I seen Jimmy Butler getting buckets. I know they just lost this last game or whatever. Great game, by the way, overtime. But yeah, I'm about to watch this game, man, and chill. I know, like I said, I know I'm monotone tonight, and I don't really got that energy. I ain't really had that energy in some weeks, man. School going on, music going on, album on the way, production, producing, and everything else. Like, shit cool. I'm busy, staying productive. Shit get draining. Like I said before, you don't want to keep waking up, turning on your social platforms and everything like that, and watch your people just keep getting killed, and it's okay. It's just business as usual. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to get on here and keep covering the same shit. You don't want to keep discussing why Black Lives Matter and everything else. I know it's a necessity at this point. I'm just really waiting on, you know what I'm saying? I'm just really waiting on that revolution, I guess. What the fuck UK? What's UK? What's UK, my G? But Brooke, holla at me. Play some Apex and shit tonight. Santana get moved in, man, so we can pod and do all this shit, man. Get back to business, man. Same shit, Jay. It's time to get that clothing line going. Drop that link down there for everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and share this and put this up after whatever. Santana, you gotta figure out how to get this this video ripped off. You ain't recorded this week. You're gonna have to come back, watch this joint and screen record or some shit. This nigga said his butt type. This nigga. But yeah, man, I'm gonna end this shit. I ain't gonna drag it on. It really ain't shit to talk about. Like I said, rest in peace, Chadwick, Black Panther, Wakanda forever. Crazy situation. It's gonna be crazy watching these movies again. Sad situation, man. You know, you just never know what people going through. Never know. But with all that said, y'all be easy. I'm out.
Moments
Short
ago,
and sweet.
went through their usual pregame ritual, although there's nothing usual about a Game 7.
What time is it?
Yeah.
And welcome to Game 7, everybody.
Y'all hit up Santana for beats. Make him step that game up. The producer, Tanner. Looney Bin. Ah.